Hey guys, what's going on? This is Adam Everett Miller with AEtutsPlus.com. And in today's quick tip, I'm going to show you something that is extremely simple, but the main reason I'm doing it is because I keep seeing all of these end title slates online, or people will, try to do this end logo for a company and put something up, and it just doesn't look clean. It just looks really weak and kind of forced. And so I just kind of want to walk through a little bit of what I would do if tomorrow someone said, "Hey Adam, quick, I need you to put up a title slate at the end of AEtutsPlus.com." And so that's what we're going to create. Cool. All right, so I got my new composition here. It's just 1280 by 720. And I have my logo, which is the AEtuts Plus logo. Okay, I could either do it on black or I could do it on white, and I think this would look a little bit nicer on white. So I'll create a new solid. We'll make it white. And cool. And I can, of course, rename it BG. I could have named it that in the beginning, but that's cool. And I like to do a 4-color gradient a lot of times when I'm doing backgrounds. Just that extra, just seeing a few extra colors. Obviously, not this, but just especially if I'm doing like a colored background, let's like a red one or something. Just kind of changing these up a little bit and giving it just some slight variations in color tends to be fun. And so instead of just getting white, now of course I could just do a ramp here, but with the ramp I only get two spots, and here I get 4. So so that's one thing that I'll often do. But I don't need to do that in this case. That was just me explaining some options. For this one, honestly, let's just leave it plain, and we'll add a little vignette at the end to make it simple. Okay, so let's do this, and then I'll add the text of www.ae.tutsplus.com. Okay, and font-wise, I want something that's going to be complementary. A lot of times it's hard. I see people that have a very different contrasting font. This is more blocky, so I would obviously want to choose a more blocky font, which I'd already chose. Gill Sans is good. Futura is a good one, not the condensed as much, but just the medium. I've seen that work well for a lot of sites or products or what have you. Okay, so now that I'm here, I want to make sure that I'm lined up well. I got a good font size, which I have. And you can go to Window Align if it's not checked. Do that, and you have this little Align tool, which is quite handy. It allows you to look at the AEtuts logo. If let's say I had it over here, I could have it under Composition and center it, and make sure that it's completely centered. And then also with my AEtuts here, I can just make sure that it's centered. If I have 2 selections, let's say I have these 2 guys selected, based off the selection, I can center these 2 with each other, and then there's just a few options here as far as centering them in and of themselves. But let's just for now go back to where we were. AEtutsPlus.com centered there, the logo centered, and we'll bring this guy back down right where it was. Okay, put this guy back. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is add something to it. There's all sorts of little layer styles that I could add, but one that I've noticed a lot is if you ever look at stuff in 3D software, 3D models, they have this thing, it's called occlusion, ambient occlusion. Oftentimes you'll just see a shadow or some sort of a presence here. So right now what I want to do is I'll go ahead and duplicate this, my logo, and I'm going to add a quick fill. All right. Since I'm recording a tutorial, I have a very limited room. Let's go ahead and drop that right on. Let's make it black. Okay. And then next I want to apply a directional blur. Okay. And let's go ahead and crank that up to maybe 100. Well, that's too much. Let's tone it down just a hair, maybe to 50. Okay. And then let's do it at an angle. Let's maybe just do like, 40-degree angle. Okay, so now looking at it, a little strong and a little bit obvious, especially here on the corners, that it's a little hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to bring it to the other angle. So let's do a -40. Okay. And so now I just have this kind of presence around the outside. And it's not just, I could do a straight blur, but I found the directional blur will give me options if I do want to increase the length of it a little bit. I can create, you know, a deeper shadow as if there's kind of light in the room perhaps. So that's why I'm going with two directional blurs rather than just a fast blur that's going to blur everything evenly. All right, let me tone that down. And then let me knock this down to 50%. I just want it to be real minute. And we'll set it behind. Okay, so now we just have that little bit behind, which is gonna just add a little bit of you know, a presence to help it kind of stand out in contrast from the black background, or I'm sorry, the white background. Another thing that I see a lot is when you do have a website, one thing that you can do to maybe make it contrast a little bit, or not contrast, I should say, kind of bring attention to it, is to almost have a little mouse come up and, you know, click on it and then go away. It's a simple little thing. You know, maybe it's cheesy. If it's done wrong, it could be cheesy, but I see it all the time in Geico commercials and this and that. So if you actually, I'll include this link over in the description or up in the requirements. But Wikipedia has this free image. It's got a high resolution mouse and a high resolution hand. So you can just download it free from them. But let me go ahead and take that. I just downloaded it at the 2000 pixels resolution. I'll drop it into a new comp real quick, and let me just draw a real quick mask. Let's just stick with the arrow for now. Okay, again, I can go ahead and just center that in the composition so it's not off center. And then I can rename this one to arrow, and I'll drag it right in. Okay, too huge. Let's knock it down to like 10. And here we go. All right, so I'm gonna start with it off screen. And let's do this right here. I'll set a keyframe here with a P. I'll hit shift and page down. I'll bring it out, I'll hit shift page down twice. I'll bring it right up to this point. I don't want to cover my text necessarily, but bring it right up there. Shift page down 2 more times, which is going to bring me forward a little bit further. And then I'll go ahead and pull it off right now. Okay. And so it's basically just going to go up, stop, and go back down. Let's convert all these guys to easy ease. Go to animation, keyframe assistant, easy ease. Okay, now you're going to see that it gave you a little handlebar here. This is going to allow you to alter the way that it comes in. So it's spatially it's still linear because it's a straight line. So temporally it's going smoothly going in. But what we want to do is we just want to drag this guy out to kind of make it come in at a little bit of an angle. And we'll do the same thing here at the end. Maybe I'll have it go down and then go over a little bit here, because I don't want it to go over and cut out over my P. I want to keep my word on screen the whole time, so it'll go down and over. Okay, let's just check that out to see how it's looking. Goes up and down. Okay, and then while it's up, let's go ahead and hit S to bring up the scale. You will bring them all up then. We'll set 2 keyframes, and then we'll put one right in the middle, and we'll just knock it down to like, you know, maybe like an 8. Okay, so then it's going to click and then go back down. Again, checking it really quick. Goes up, click, and down. Sounds good? Let's do the same thing to let's scale the website as well. Let's take that, set the same keyframes in the same area, but then as it clicks down, let's have the website click up, not click up, but scale up a little bit. So let's go like 105. That should do it. So it's just gonna go click, click like that, and then go away. All right, oops. Let's grab all these guys and convert them to easy ease as well. Okay, let me quick save this, and let's take a quick look. Okay, happens a little bit slow. If we want to speed that up, we can certainly grab them all, hold down Alt or Option, and then drag the furthest keyframe over, and it will definitely speed up the process. Okay, so there you go. You have a nice arrow coming on. And let's just give this arrow just a little bit more life. Let's just give it a drop shadow here. If we right click on it, layer styles, let me actually do it so you can see it here, layer styles, and we'll give it a drop shadow. When you want to see where the direction is, if you're far out like this, you can just go down to distance, and we'll crank that out for a second so we can kind of see our angle. We'll bring it there because that seems like naturally where it would be. And then we'll bring our distance back in. Let's bring it down just a little bit. Let's crank the size up, and we'll turn the opacity down to 50. Well, even more than that. Let's go down to 20. Again, we want just a minor little shadow just to give it that presence so it feels like it's actually in the scene, but not so much that there's a definite hard-edged shadow there. Okay, well that feels good. And of course we can just add a quick little vignette over the whole thing just to make it look, to kind of draw attention. Grab the ellipse tool, double click on it, bring up the feather, crank it out. Maybe 250 will work. And then let's go ahead and subtract it. And let's tone it down. Actually, 250 is way too much. I did 1,000. That's my mistake. There we go. That's better. And then let's tone it down to like 20. Just enough to give it a little bit. Maybe 30. Okay. There's some love. Cool. So, yeah, there's a few little things. These are quick tips. So I guess the big walkaway quick tip is maybe to try using an arrow click if you ever have to include a website at the end of your commercial or project. Give it a little clicking sound, but that's it. I'm trying to keep the quick tip quick. So my name is Adam Everett Miller with aetutsplus.com. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.